Folks, it's been 9 long years since the Los Angeles Clippers made the playoffs. They haven't won a postseason series since they campaigned as the Buffalo Braves in 1976. Now the Clippers and their fans are back. The Nuggets fast break attack hopes to ambush an LA Clippers team ready to claim top billing in La La Land. The NBA playoffs continue on ESPN. Not a perfectly thrown pass, or Anthony would have attacked. Buckner misses the 3 ball right into Carmelo's hands, and he nails the jumper.
No, at the long rebounds, you have to be able to extend your blockouts out a little bit. If you don't, those balls are going to go over your head, and that's why you see a lot of offensive rebounds on 3-point shots.
That the commissioner and the owners will correct that before next season. Anthony puts it down on the attack. He's fouled. Here is the bracket, and by losing that game at Memphis, the Clippers falling into the 6th spot. That enabled them to play Denver, and because they have a better record, even though they're the 6th seed, they get the home court advantage in the best of 7. Meanwhile, Memphis moves up to play Dallas, the 4 seed, and should Dallas win and should San Antonio win, and don't we all think San Antonio is going to win after watching them this afternoon dismantle Sacramento, then suddenly you've got the team with the 2nd best record in the West playing the team with the best. And if they threw them all together and rated them 1 through 8, then Dallas would be where they belong. And they're gonna come up with some kind of a correction, Tom. They won't let that happen again.
No, absolutely. And I think the Clippers got a lot of flack for what they did at the end of the year, but New Jersey was resting players. Miami was resting players. There's a lot of teams out there. Phoenix, a lot of teams were resting players, but because it meant playoff position for the Clippers, I think they received more criticism. Well, the Clippers have done a real nice job keeping Denver out of the paint. Transition, they've been able to get there occasionally, but in the half court, they're forcing him to shoot jump shots. Now that's a guy that can make some jump shots.
Over the top of Redmanovich, so Anthony ends that route. Remember, we saw Cassell a little treatment on his back as Anthony comes through, and he continues to watch here in the 2nd quarter. And Anthony pulls the Nuggets to within 3.
Well, he brings some attitude and some edge to this team. That's the way he played. That's the way he's coaches. He's just not going to back down and expects his team to follow suit.
Anthony seems to be warming up, and they may have to change the defenders. He's gone over the top of Redmanovich, and he now has 10 points for the Nuggets, 35-32. Kamen coming back down into Anthony's hands. And there was a rebounding discrepancy in the first half. 30-20 advantage Clippers. The Clippers had 9 offensive rebounds to 10 defensive rebounds for the Nuggets. So the Nuggets were a little more aggressive that time, and they attacked the basket and finished. I'm sure a point of emphasis in the locker room. Nestle Crunch stat track here in the first half. Tom.
Well, that's a mouthful right there. And look at the field goal percentage. Of course, you expect the teams that win. The Clippers, +9 on the rebounds. And doing a nice job of holding the Nuggets in check. 8 points, you'll take that. They never got on any spurts. It was kind of inconsistent. A couple points here, a couple points there.
Pressure after the successful free throw. Now the Nuggets set their half-court defense.
Tough shot.
Ooh. Oh, with the shot clock expiring, Anthony hits a tough shot. Loose ball, Miller's got him again, and Carmelo Anthony.
Something else they haven't been able to do. This is one of the best lob teams in the league.
Still a dozen. No, now make it 10 is Anthony with an opportunity hoop off that offensive rebound. It's a quick 6-0 run here. Jumps out on Anthony, and they call the foul, sort of a late whistle, and Kamen now has picked up number 3. Three to 2. Anthony knocks it down to make it 87-79, just inside of 4 minutes. And they had 8 in the first half, and the Nuggets have not gotten that transition game going here against this Clipper D. Anthony trying to get to the basket. He's on the free throw line. He'll shoot a pair.
Well, he's a guy certainly you can ride in the last 2-3 minutes of the game. Now, I know he hasn't got it going here in the fourth quarter, but sometimes you think, oh, he's due to make one. And he's ready to make one. If he makes one, he can get that confidence going, and then you could be in trouble.
(87-81) is our score now. 2:43.
Rebound by Nahara. The starters are out there for the Los Angeles Clippers. A big hit, the first tonight in 8 minutes by Carmelo Anthony.
It's interesting with Nahara in the game. You can tell George Karl's looking for some energy, some toughness.
He said the best defense is us making some shots. And he's going to leave Carmelo Anthony in the game no matter what his foul situation, so he can try to get something going at the offensive end, guys.
Well, looks like he's got something going right now. He's hit his first 2 shots of the second half. It's Carmelo Anthony. He's hit 3 of his 4 second half shots.
Yeah, Kevin, he's capable now of throwing up a 30-point half. I mean, this guy can put up big numbers.
Anthony again. Carmelo Anthony, who was left off the Western Conference All-Star team, has had as good a season as any Western Conference forward you'll find. Right now, 3 blocked shots. At the other end, Mobley is working on Carmelo Anthony.
See, when you get some defensive stops, when you rebound the ball, when you block some shots, you can run. What we've seen here to start this third period is the way Denver wants to play, Kevin. Get out in the open floor. This is where Anthony thrives, as well as Boykins and the rest of this team.
Mobley picks up his 4th personal foul. And it's the first time in the history of their franchise, dating back to Buffalo, they've ever started a playoffs with home court advantage. Foul, Ross, number 4 on Ross.
He's built this team on defense. You know, Kevin, we talked to him before the game, and he said, you know, Doug, everybody talks about, you know, how are the Clippers here? You know, is this, you know, sort of a swampland kind of thing that you built this team with? And the answer is no. They built it with their defense, and their defense tonight is what's winning this game. They've been terrific.
Number 1 in block shots, number 4 in defensive field goals. As you take a look at the other Dunleavy that is so known around the NBA, Mike, who played at Duke. Again, he was a starter here. He has accepted coming off the bench, and that acceptance has been a great sign to this team as Anthony got it to the other end.
Now, Mike Dunleavy's going to call a timeout, and the defense of the Clippers took him right out of it.
Anthony right into James Singleton.
Well, Kevin, it's going to be an interesting night. Thursday night in Denver. You know they have great fans. The Nuggets have always played exceptionally well there. And it's going to be one of those games now. The pressure is going to be all on Denver on Thursday night. They've got to go home, and they've got to win Game 3 to get back into this series. They're not going to go down 0-3 and beat this Clipper team 4 straight times. That's not going to happen. The Clippers are too good defensively.
Well, there was a lot of history on the side of the Los Angeles Clippers with the win tonight and going up 2 games to none.
You know, 20 points and 10 rebounds and 2-3 blocks every single year, and been consistent as running water. And now he's absolutely being rewarded for his loyalty to this Clipper franchise and what he brings here. David Aldridge talked about it a while ago. He is the rock. They thrive on those, Kevin.
Livingston has now come in. Sean Livingston has come in for the Los Angeles Clippers. He's guarding Carmelo Anthony, and there's a foul. It's on Livingston.
But Ross starts. Now you've got Sean Livingston. You'll see Mobley. A lot of different looks that they'll throw at Carmelo Anthony, but it's their team defense that's doing it. Carmelo Anthony is going to score against anybody in this league.
Corey Maggette has come in for the first time. And Carmelo Anthony with a dunk and a drive and a 9-0 Denver Nugget run.
Well, you saw Mobley look around like, where was my weak side help? Nobody rotated over to help him.
And again, nice defense by Elson. They got a 4-on-2. Anthony bulldozing his way inside. That is a foul on Corey Maggette. First on court. One of the differences he has made in his pregame routine and day of game routine is to work with 63-year-old assistant coach Tim Gergerich. They watch a lot of video together, a lot of one-on-one work, and he has served as almost his personal coach.
Well, Gergerich might be 63, but the guy's got the energy of a guy about 30.
Yes,
and
he
that
does.
guy works out himself about 3 or 4 times a day. He's always on the floor with the players.
The biggest lead tonight, Clippers, 5 points early on. Carmelo, 1 of 8, fouled as he went up that time. And may have gotten more than just a casual glance. It's been interesting the relationship that has developed between Anthony and George Karl. George, when he arrived, which was in the middle of last season, said, I'm going to put him on a 2-year program. He's got a reputation of being lazy, and you know what? He was lazy. And he has grown so much this year. Karl said, I'm going to wipe away that 2-year program. He has arrived.
Well, you know, that's called trusting your coach and knowing he has your best interest at heart.
Really impressive. All to go inside. And an alley-oop pass, one of those patented lobs you talked about. Miller looking for Anthony. And the foul for a 3rd time goes on the youngster Ross of the Clippers.
I make this a very, very important 2.5 minutes for the Denver Nuggets. They're 14 fast break points. So they're starting to create the kind of points that make them a playoff team. Mark, that they really shoot to go for. There's Carmelo finally knocking the shot down, but see what happened? He got to the free throw line, saw that ball go in the basket. I've always been a component when you're struggling. Get a layup or get a free throw.
Lasso's another rebound. That's the 7th he's collected with his 6 points. Anthony by Maggette, and a foul called on Corey.
They still only trail by 1. They are right where they want to be.
Damon comes in for Radmanovich. Mobley comes in for Corey Maggette. Foul called inside on Mobley. 2nd assist on him. One of the more historic officials in the history of the game.
He's always fun to be around.
Yeah,
He always sees you before the game and comes over and give you a hug. I mean, he's genuinely excited to come in the NBA arena. The guy gets up every day and still runs about 5 miles. I mean, even on game days, I mean, the guy's amazing.
When you brought teams in here, Doug, as the foul goes on Brand for a 2nd time, when you brought your teams in here, the Bulls or the Pistons or the Wizards, was altitude a concern for you?
I always felt that guys, you had to give them a little bit earlier rest in the game. You got winded early. Some people say come in at the last minute and just come out and play. So there's a lot of different thought on how you want to do it. But it takes its toll, there's no question.
Good screen by Nahara for Anthony. Well, remember in the 2nd half last night, or couple nights ago in Los Angeles, he came out very well and very strong.
Sam, don't run over me. I can't move here. That's another turnover. That's 18 turnovers. Kevin, I saw how quickly you got up.
Yeah, Coach.
I was at Sam's mercy that he had some breaks.
I was looking at the block.
I think Sam just picked up a technical. So now, listen to this crowd. You don't want to do anything to get this crowd involved. It felt like he was grabbed on the arm by Anthony. Came over, could not save the play. Then got upset, said something. And a technical foul. You see sort of swung his arm there. So now another free throw. And this is where Sam Cassell and Cuttino Mobley, the guys with the experience, must calm their team down, not inflame the situation.
Anthony from outside with a 2-ball.
Well, he's hit 2 jump shots now after really struggling in that first half, but that's what you do, Kevin. You get to the line.
With under 5 to play, and they go inside, and Carmelo Anthony can't convert, but he is fouled.
That was a great pass by Andre Miller. We've seen about 2 or 3 passes from him.
16 attempts by Carmelo Anthony. 32 attempts by the Nuggets, 17 by the Clippers. From the free throw stripe. Brand. Rebound by Anthony.
Nice defense that time by Marcus Camby. Forced him to change that shot.
Carmelo.
There'll be a timeout here by Mike Dunleavy.
Carmelo Anthony against Ross.
See, no shot blocking now. With Elton Brand there, there's nobody to guard the basket. And that's what Carmelo Anthony knows. Just take your time, get to the rim.
Anthony. And hit by Radmanovich with 18.8 to play in regulation.
So it's sort of similar to what we saw in Phoenix the other night. The Lakers had not beaten Phoenix with Steve Nash on the floor for Phoenix Suns. Over 2 years, they were 0-8. Tonight, they break a 5-game losing streak against the Clippers. Also a 6-game losing streak. They lost the last 4 games of the season and 2 in the playoffs. So they had been reeling. They had the suspension, all the things that were going on. This is a big win for Denver tonight.
And the Nuggets with the first trip down the floor, Tom.
Well, one of the things I think Coach Karl would like to see tonight, and if you're a Nugget fan, can they get Carmelo Anthony down on the block, not only in the half court, but in transition, much bigger than Quentin Ross.
Deflected, Anthony's got it back. 5 on the shot, and the fans loving the fact that Melo just buried his opening J. Drives on Ross, draws the foul. He'll shoot a pair of free throws. Regular season, Nuggets average better than 20 points a game. But here in the postseason, it gets a little bit tougher, doesn't it, Tom?
Yeah, especially when you're playing against a team like the Clippers, who will control tempo and they'll run occasionally. But when you have the 2 big guys, they have good balance getting back on defense. They really need to force tempo and try to get going against the Clippers before their defense sets up.
Melo in the lane, flashing.
That's when he has the advantage over Quentin Ross. When he gets in the lane, he's too big, too strong.
Strong, Anthony in 1. Showing a little fire in his belly since he came back in.
I've been waiting for him just to take over. Just go with it, take over. So you know what? I'm the guy in this team. Give me the ball. I'll get us back in this game.
Coming up here in this quarter, so they've had a very impressive quarter with their bench, and Anthony will try to pick up the slack and get back in the thick of this.
How about their bench shooting?
Anthony is pushed. Here was the first meeting between the two, and now we know what they were saying to each other. Couple of good buds. Which Sam's been very happy being the quarterback for Coach Dunleavy and the Clippers this year. And Jim, I think Cassell's very comfortable in Los Angeles, even though I know he likes George.
He is very comfortable, and Sam's a likable guy. He would like to someday coach in this league. He's very happy with the Clippers. It'll be up to the Clippers whether or not. But one thing about Sam, he was asked about the Lakers last week. Oh, yeah, I'd like to be with the Lakers. Coach Karl, he comes in here. I love Coach Karl. Sam just wants to play, and he can contribute, and look at everywhere he's gone. They've excelled and done very, very well winning championships.
Yeah, they've been very strong. He won a couple down in Houston, didn't he? Works for me.
That's
blocked.
Quick
And a
move,
foul.
though. Quick move, got there before the double team.
That's his first point this half. 67-58.
She's happy.
Anthony. Finally. Delay of game warning, and that's Anthony's first field goal this half.
All right, Brent, thank you very much. Moses Malone on the Legends Tour. Hey, Moses, let me ask you, first of all, you are a part of the Buffalo Braves, now Clipper franchise history, having played those 2 games. What's your assessment of the Clippers, and what's it like for you to be a part of their history now that they're going to win this series?
Well, that's great, you know. They got a couple guys on their team that I know, Sam Cassell, and Katina Moser. You know, even I played ball with the coach, Mike Dunleavy. Mike, so, you know, it's opportunity, man. It's great.
When you played with Mike, what was he like as a player?
Well, Sam, you know, Sam's a funny guy. You know, Sam's the type of guy, you know, he's going to have a lot of fun playing this ball game. He even do this during the summer. You know, he's a great guy. You know, he wants to win.
Miller looking to push. Here's Carmelo jumper. And it goes.
And again, that's one of the few times in transition that Carmelo Anthony's been able to get an open spot-up jump shot.
Camby got a piece of it, and another turnover. 2-on-1 break. Carmelo Anthony blows the layup. Rebound putback. The 74th turnover for the Clippers here in this series.
And the Clippers failed to do what they've done best in this league, which is convert in transition.
The bottom line is 12 less points a game. And speaking to George Karl, he said, listen, you know, the playoffs, they magnify your weakness. And the weakness has been outside shooting. That has been the problem for them all season long. But they lead now by 4. Carmelo Anthony. And a whistle and a foul. And the foul is going to be charged to Quentin Ross.
Matt, what I liked about that sequence right there was when Anthony got the ball, he didn't wait on the double team to get there and pass. He attacked the baseline before the double team could get there and tried to use his strength against Quentin Ross versus trying to pass the ball out of the double team as he has been throughout this series.
Log on to TNT Overtime Playoffs 06 on NBA.com now for your exclusive player previews and analysis along with the best from Kenny, Charles, and EJ on NBA.com or AOL.com/NBA. 8 points for Carmelo Anthony, 17 points for Mobley. Carmelo Anthony answers with the 2. 5-point game. Rebound controlled by Camby. Leak out. Carmelo, and he's fouled. 72% in this series. He's averaging 11 free throw attempts in this series and making 8 of them. And in the regular season, averaged 9 attempts.
And think about it. He's doing that while facing double teams consistently. If they had more shooting, I don't want to keep harping on the same subject, but if they had more shooting, he'd have more space to drive the ball. And if he had space to drive it, it's very difficult to handle someone of his size and strength.
Carmelo Anthony knocks down the jumper.
See, a noticeable change in strategy. Instead of posting Anthony to start the second half, they're moving him on pin down, and then he's got a little bit more room to operate.
Buckner back to Anthony, and a foul on Brand.
Very good unselfish play by Denver. Anthony could have taken the initial shot. He kicked it out to Miller. Nothing looks good up there for Denver. And yet here they are, down 5 on the road. Now down 4. And I think it's been because they've come in with a harder playing mentality than they had in game 4.
6 points in the first half. Put back good.
They're on that offensive glass right now, Matt. They're really pounding the board hard and well.
Shot clock down, spin move. What a move by Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo, what a move.
Right to left crossover, left to right spin, slicing between 2 defenders. He is I'm trying to guard him one-on-one.
Differently, it appeared, during the regular season compared to the way they played through 4 games in this series with the Suns.
Luke Walton has been a very, very important piece of that puzzle. And then when you trot out the best player every night on the floor, you always have a good chance of winning, no matter whether you're playing at home or on the road.
Carmelo Anthony has 20 and now 21 points on the night. And the Nuggets on 11-2 run. George Karl saying that Carmelo Anthony is the rock of our team. We'll just keep going through him, going through him, going through him. We got game 5 coming up. Anthony lays it up and through.
And Mike Dunleavy and Elgin Baylor, the 2 heads of this organization, both had such great Laker stints. Elgin Baylor as a player, and Mike Dunleavy took them to the finals and did a great job in his first head coaching stint.
That was back in 1991.